Today, I'm going to show you everything you need to do before Argos or you will fall behind. And don't worry, this applies to everyone's character. It's going to help you prep for it even if you aren't 1370. So we're going over all of the dailies, island events, and things to optimize your character before this raid happens to make sure that we stay ahead of the curve and become as strong as possible so that we can beat that raid and MVP flex on everyone in true ZERKERGANG style. And I've been leaking what you need to be doing in Discord for the homies for the last week. So make sure you get in there if you want the early glow up. And if this helps you out, I really appreciate the sub. There's also going to be a text guide for all this in the comments for you text guide enjoyers. My name is Claysthetics, and we're running right into it. And don't forget to like the video. It's the only way YouTube knows I exist. And lighting this off, we're going to start with Anguished Island. And you need to start doing this island early. I started at like 950 item level. And yes, I know it says 1100 item level to go in, but you really don't need that. The quick rundown is you do a small quest chain on this island to save some homies. You unlock this daily quest. And because this isn't an Una quest, you can do this on top of them every single day. And it's absolutely mandatory. What you need to be doing is stacking up as many of these keys as possible so that you can run this dungeon down when you hit like 1300 item level. Don't be like me and run the dungeon a little bit early because the last boss absolutely slaps. But on top of that, you're also going to get the Crimson Skynes from the daily, and the boss at the end of the dungeon is going to drop a ton of these. So because you can spam run all the keys at once, it's super important that you have this fat stockpile of them for when you get there. And for the daily, if you are under the item level, the mobs are actually pretty difficult, but you can just click these boxes and it's going to give you a little bit of completion, but you can also just X up in general chat. I invite people all the time. It doesn't matter. Just help each other out to get the daily done. It's really not a big deal. It's shared. You can just spin through, kill everything. You can tag mobs too while other people are killing them. Get your credit. Just do what you have to do to get the key no matter what every single day. I definitely wouldn't recommend coming under 900 item level, but if you do, I mean, you know, you got to do what you got to do. But because you can spam run all the keys at once as soon as you hit like 1300 item level, it's important to get as many as you can right now because this vendor is absolutely insane. And it's the only way to get the legendary overwhelm rune in the entire game. And getting that extra 30% stagger damage is absolutely cracked. But you do have to look that everything's on a roster limit. And I don't think the T2 gem chest is worth buying, but the T3 gem chest, yep. Uncommon class engraving, you already know. Same thing with the blue one. And 3 purple ones. And once you hit 14, 15, you have enough tokens, you get 2 free legendary class books. The life leap stones were actually account bound. You just drop them in the bank. It was perfect for one of my alts. And the honor leap stone chest was absolutely perfect. Like right off of the rip, it was just a free 50 honor leap stones. Like that's amazing for T3. And finally, the hollow fruits, you're going to need this for all the rapport stuff in Punica because it's going to be one of the only ways you can actually get the greater skill point potion just because of how min-max Punica is. Because if you can't beat the boss and you can't get the rapport, you can't get the pot. And all the NPCs in Punica actually get a bonus from hollow fruit. This also happens to be the only non-roster bound thing, so you can buy this as many times as you want, making this daily insanely valuable all the time, every single day until you max up Punica and have every single thing on the vendor. And that's why you need to be doing Anguished Island right now. Stop messing around and get to it. So the dungeon is right beside the vendor, and as you can see, it says recommended item level 1100. That's a meme. The boss is going to do a lot of stuff like this. Every time, every day, she touches the ult. And that pretty much says it all. She jumps around and does a ton of damage. It really just pisses you off every single time you go in there. So now for everyone's favorite content in all of Lost Ark ever, Una Dailies. And the only thing I have to say about Una dailies is these daily tickets have actually saved my whole soul. But these are the dailies you need to be doing to min-max your character to progress the fastest. And we're going to be focusing on leap stones first for our mains, no matter what tier you're in, with reputation being the secondary. And I'm going to list more than 4 dailies so you can pick the 3 to 4 most efficient dailies for your tier, your character, and your account. Number 1, Bleak Night Fog Ghost Ship. I was learned real good by the homies in the comments on my Ghost Ship video that after you complete the daily in person the first time, you can actually auto-complete it every single day and fast-track your way to the Ghost Ship. Not 12 weeks, 12 days. And it also is one of the best leap stone generators in the entire game. With the secondary as the reputation giving you pirate coins, and when you max it out, you get the ghost ship. This is one of the most valuable dailies to do in the entire game. And I recommend just committing the 11 daily tickets to it just to get this done, because actually going to the ghost ship is a nightmare. Then number 2, if you're actually going for the Stray, is the She Drift Sea Gifts. I can't even barely say that, Jesus. And you can do the same with it apparently. I haven't been doing it, so I can't confirm if you can auto-complete it, but if you can, that's hype. And if you can't, just go to the ocean event every day. It's not really a big deal, but it's also a great source of leap stones. After that, Ride Like the Wind, if set up correctly, can be done in about 30 seconds with Bifrost, and it gives you the Eurus boat which is insanely fast and a good alternative boat until you get a really good one like the Astray or the Ghost Ship. It also gives you a ton of pirate coins for its reputation at the different tiers. As you can see, max that one out first. Number 4, where it belongs, is just a really solid based on the amount of leap stones you get, but it doesn't really have a good secondary bonus. It's just fast, quick, and easy. And number 5, rubbing away the marks of time. And while it's fast, it gives 1 or 2 less leap stones than the other, depending on your item level, but it is actually really solid just because of the speed. I recommend doing this one on your ults or your main if you're out and you just are down horrendous for leap stones. And number 6, my favorite leap stone daily, which is Hypnos. It gives the best leap stone for time completed and is easily one of the best reputations in the entire game to do. It gives you the Dragon Boat, pirate coins, and a courage potion for maxing it out, so you have to be doing this one. And the final leapstone one is Prisoner Emancipation. It gives a lot, but it isn't efficient early game because of pirate coins, but it gives cracked awards like Sailors, Masterpieces, Island Heart, whatever else. It's really good, and honestly, if you can do all the ones that give pirate coins and leapstones at the same time, these are going to be generating your most valuable currencies in the entire game, and you need to be doing this. You already know the ship vendor is one of the easiest and best ways to progress your character, and you need to be buying the combat potions on top of buying all the other upgrade materials so that you can prog, and you're going to want to buy them on your alts. So max it out. That way you can also buy the best sailor. It's one of my personal favorites just because the island is actually hype is Shadow Moon Market. After 5 dailies, you unlock a Giant's Heart, and you already know that's insane value because the amount of SP you gain from having 12. So you need this, and you need to be getting these while you're doing it. But one of the main things it gives is percent increased chance to succeed on whatever you're doing, right? So T1, it gives you something. T2, it gives you something. T3, it gives you solar graces. And these are really valuable, if not just as valuable as some of the leap stones. If you're not down bad for leap stones, I really recommend doing the Shadow Moon Market daily just because the double dip in the amount that you need. On top of this, you only need to do 5 dailies at Shadow Moon Market to get the Giant's Heart, so just make sure you're popping it, and if it's not on your main, do it on an alt. It's not item obligated, and I really recommend you set up Bifrost there too, because it gives you access to so much of the map so quickly, unless you get to events on that half of the map, because there's no real port there, and you can just use that as your port. You move there quick, and bang, you're out there sailing instantly. But after the 5 dailies, there's just a small achievement. You just have to snap pictures of a bunch of the little homies and do the Shadow Moon Market dance, and then you get the quest to do the Giant's Heart. It's a really quick, really easy. After that, we have some focuses that you need to do once on your mains, and then you can start doing them on your alts with the autocomplete tickets. They make it so easy, and you don't even have to think. And you only have to do them a couple times, so it's worth just buying a 50 banger and just knocking these out. Azure Wind Island is the first one I recommend, and you do it on your T2 alt because there's a vendor with Harmony Shard Bag and some engravings. But the real deal is after 15 days on Azure, when you get the Giant's Heart and the Whistle emote, which you need for an NPC for rapport later in Papunika. I know it's a lot. There's a lot going on, but we're trying to bang this out quick. We don't want to talk about it all day. We want to go play the game. Again, don't sleep on the Giant's Hearts. You need them. You can also kill the mobs with the special horse from Azure Wind if you don't want to auto-complete it, but why wouldn't you want to auto-complete it? Come on. But now for Whispering Islet, after 10 days, you're going to get a skill point pot. Previously, enough said about skill points. You need to unlock them. You could just set a Bifrost right here on your ult so you can play the song twice and leave. It doesn't matter what kind of ult you have. You can claim everything on your main. As long as you could just jump there and play the songs, that's all you need to do. There's no need to waste an autocomplete on this one. Super simple. And the final skill point daily is Lake Shiverweave. You need to do like 15 dailies or something ridiculous to get Elzoin's Blessed Letter, and this is going to give another SP pot. But the final unit task for this is the Tuki Island. 30 dailies get you a Giant's Heart. Enough said. Just go do it on an alt for an autocomplete every day. These are all insane power spikes to our characters, and we're going to need as much as we can get, and the Abyss Raids that come after it. And you need to get started on these now because of the crazy time game. But if you do need a rundown on how to get every single skill point in the game, I made this guide. So if you literally need a walkthrough in order of how to get each one in under 10 minutes, that's the place to be. And join the Discord so everyone can glow up together. The Zerker gang is growing stronger by the day. Even if you're not a Zerker, it doesn't matter. Everybody's welcome. But now for the low-key shit that most people are dodging every day, and that's rapport stats. And while I can't look at any woman in the face in the game, I plan on being able to one day because the Zerker gang inspired me to push through that mental barrier that we had and all the stat blocks that go along with it. So the dailies we need to be going to do to get our virtue up, which will be important later because the things like Omnium Stars are going to be insanely valuable. And Nia gives us one of the 6 we're going to need. So greater skill point pot ×2. Yes, please. Wealth Rune, Overwhelm, greater stats. We want every Omnium Star in the game, and we're going to make sure that we get them all. If you ever get confused, just type Wisdom into the tab, and boom, you've got all the dailies you need. Save the forest, free ranging the rabbits, and school is fun. You just look, max out the reputations for each one, and you're going to end up with the Wisdom potions, okay? So that's all you need to do anytime you're confused. You just click on item in the reputation stats tab, and boom, you got everything you need. You can search every single thing that you can obtain from these in here, and it's going to pop it up for you. As for courage, as you can see, I'm slacking hard. I don't have enough courage. I can't talk to most of the NPCs. But if I was smart, I'd be blasting all these dailies out on my alts. The thing is, I run out of time because all I want to do is PvP every day. It's not my fault. I'm addicted. Now for the charisma potions, it's the same thing. And like I said, all you got to go do is jump into this tab. You're going to blast these dailies out. And anytime you get confused, just check the rewards. It tells you how many you got to do. A lot. All right, that sucked. But finally, kindness. This is going to be one of the bigger gates in the game if you mess Nia up like I did. So you got to start doing all the kindness stuff. And like I said, we talked about Tuki earlier. Double dips with the Giant's Heart. So you get the kindness and the Giant's Heart, but you got to do them 30 times. Like, come on. This is unbelievable. We're going to be maxing out our characters. We're going to be maxing out our stats so we can talk to every NPC in the game and not feel bad about ourselves anymore. Well, getting MVP on every single leaderboard, because that's exactly what we need to do. And I do want to give a special shout out to the Zerker Gang for the love on the last video. I think I'm going to be doing a daily character update because you guys enjoyed it so much, and probably include my alts because that was suggested. But shout out to the rank 1 again. You already know you're the greatest. Snow and Hottie were so close, and they're always having a back-to-back battle for that #1 comment spot, and I like that.